come in with for that matter. It's just whether or not they're going to be able to garner as much space as they want.
Yeah, it can be a really painful thing to play up against. Those slow bleed the clock plays. Over on Guild side, starting this out, we have a slow play outside of A, waiting, try and catch somebody pushing up through. The rest of the team gonna steal some of this control that's hotly contested. And a ton of utility going down early, but over on Guild side, you're using up that nade. You really want to take the space on the back of it, but Acend have held on tight. They've given away a lot of their presence, though, and Guild are reading into that as a potential weakness on A, and with Samsi falling, it looks like that might be true.
And that's the thing, the difference in these comps is that the defenders almost have to be aggressive with the composition that they're running. And so far, that's really playing into the hands of Guild, who really want to be playing these defaults, these slow rounds, burning out all that utility they have off the back of their initiators, being able to get them information. Already 2 players to the good, and an afterplant looking inevitable. And as said, when they get in the afterplants, this team is terrifying. An afterplant with double the amount of players, that could be a problem, but never mind. Hated has been able to find a couple and made this at least tricky.
Yeah, well, this is the best they've looked so far in the round. Acend having a chance to fight back through the choke point together. 2 flashes still online, a haunt refreshing. Smurfette might have the timing to close this round out. Tied up neatly in a bow for her 2 players, but the back turn, the shots are missed. Luckily, though, the distraction serves to get them the kill anyways, with Hated being the final player. 19 HP left. Even though 1 kill goes her way, there's so much more to do, and it's an impossible task with Guild taking the pistol.
I do like how running a composition that has not only a chamber but a neon, you need to be pushing that map control. Even Breach, for example, it's not going to be good at finding you information unless you're pushing with the utility it has. Whereas on the other side, you can get a lot of that for free. So I think they have to be very proactive, and Guild's comp actually kind of wants to be reactive, like waiting patiently and using the double initiator to find info.
Well, Cinnamon's actually in quite a bit of trouble. If they had any sort of utility to flush her out of this position, it'd be coming towards her right here and now. You can see keeping her trapped. That's what they were looking for, but ultimately nobody can pull the trigger to take the kill in the end. And so we reset, and Guild have avoided losing one of those weapons early, giving anything back to this headhunter, one of the bigger challenges that they face.
Toxins going up.
Still 4 bullets in it as the push is coming through, but that Viper wall, well, that all but counters it out.
Not really managing to find much off the back of these pistols. mediKa will at least be able to get 1. It's still hidden in the back lines, and well, aNNja is there to close her out as well. 4 kills for her in this round. More importantly, getting herself ever closer to having that nightfall in a fairly early scenario here. Of course,
and it's important to just, in rounds like that, when you're going to overextend, when you're going to look for kills, you can't leave any gaps. That's where those weaker weapons find the value. This time they've been countered out. Acend. They go to the rifles, they go for some long control. Samsi, though, now under a lot of pressure. And yeah, it's the right call to concede that control.
Interesting they've actually tried to challenge for B long control. I guess trying to use the Bulldogs at range. It might sound silly facing off against the Vandals, but it can definitely work if you're posted up as a squad, and with all 5 players waiting, only the trap behind them, and actually not that aggressive a stance in this round. Acend probably just wanting to try and play off the back of them having that weaponry advantage. They're not really going to know too much other than the sounds that initially been made on long.
The nade thrown out, the flashbangs, I mean, they're selling this as a big play, as a massive push. And it's dragging Acend completely over. Jade just now arriving on the B site. That's the 4th player to set foot on this site. With 30 seconds left.
30 seconds left.
Amy is left a whole day all alone. And it looks like Guild are moving. Certainly to mid. It looks like the A site. That read's made by Acend. 20 seconds on the clock. And they're going to gamble on A. This is just way too slow from Guild. They faked out B with all that aggression, but that was 30 seconds ago. Now when they make it to the site, they're gonna have to get kill after kill. 7 seconds left. If they can deny this, it ends here. No, the spike is being planted and now the defenders are on the back foot. They had all of the numbers, but none of the kills. Jade, the last alive. And they know exactly where she is.
Wow.
Gorgeous play from Guild.
That's really impressive. Like, as you said, I think they got into that site because they got the right gamble in terms of the stack at the end. They just didn't hit any shots.
Yeah, the whole flow of the round was perfect for them. Reading it right at the start. 4 players on B for the fake.
So close.
And just a bewilderingly slow play from Guild. This time, very different with Smurfette already taking a double. Her second kill from the A site, fighting back towards middle. Acend wanted to crunch in and find that space, and they found plenty of open space. So did their opponents behind them. And now that plan should come through on the B site. Whether it's going to be free or not, you're only up against the 2 players. One has now recovered a Phantom though, so there's a bit of a threat.
It's got to be so confusing from the defensive side. Smurfette kills 2 players from A, and then they go B. Like, come on. You have to go off the information. Well, Gravwell not going to do much to deny them. 3 players locked within the U-Haul, and a nice shot from Amy at least. Tag desperately low, might want to try and swap that rifle over to a teammate of Samsi. But in the end, they both fall to Cinnamon. 4-0. Guild looking incredibly strong, and I'm really completely changes the dynamic of the defense. Like, you're able to have B locked down a lot more easily than you did before, and now you can start having some of those set plays based around these more aggressive pushes. I do think it's a little bit odd though to have mediKa away from Jade. Like, I think those players should be more in tandem based around the fact that you kind of expect her to get aggressively. Again, think to how teams play Fracture. A lot of the time, those two work together for the entirety of the round.
Sure. Obviously, the early plan here, haunt up and over for outside A. They try to sneak up and grab an orb for free onto Jade and have those... Hold on. They've continued to push late. They pushed the late up behind on A. This is going to leave them with a good flank, a good quick one, but unfortunately unable to TP back. Samsi is caught in the open. I mean, mediKa might have a flank coming. Not really, with Hated being caught. And now that flank they were hoping for, no longer going to be happening. They've got to hold on the side, and well, they're being overrun by Guild yet again. Looks like individually they're just ahead. Jade with a nice try, using the wall to cover her footsteps. But again, Tom, we end up in this situation. Guild, despite the chaos of the round, they seem to wield it perfectly.
Yeah, this has looked incredibly easy for them. I'll be brutally honest. Like, the fact that we've taken this space, what now?
Oh, wow. So the A push last round, your Neon to move fast to grab that space out of your control, contest it. This time, basically nobody on A. One playing further back, everyone else fighting in and around their own angles on mid, but they have the supportive utility to come back and grab the information. The push out of Jade, it is met with waiting arms. They had the info on A main. They thought they could take this space behind them, but again, those flanks are not allowed.
They're going back. They've used the ult to attempt to try and fake things out. The steps are going to be heard, though. mediKa close enough. Look at the full rotation already coming back through from Acend. They've heard the steps of rotations, but was this intentional? If those steps through the spawn were intentional, then the calls from Guild are just a level above anything we're seeing on the other side, because they are now going back through Art to head in towards the A site, which is now a lot more open than it would have been.
30 seconds left.
We've seen Guild win the rounds when they're running into the stacks, into the numbers. This time it looks so much easier. Timing perfect, catching mediKa.
Brilliant.
She was just coming to spot if anyone was here, and that information again comes at the cost of lives and of a plant. Another 4vx situation in the post plant for Guild. They've got all the control. But Acend at least have that extra player for the clutch versus previous scenarios, both coming in with Guardians. And not exactly the best with no stars down on Astra. You are running into this one dry.
Amy. Nice shot, at least onto the first. The second as well. Making this one a little bit more competitive, but Guild in the end. 6-0. I have to say as well, I still think in Valorant, there is maybe a stigma of slightly under rotation back. That was sublime. Like, they basically won the round just off her calling alone. And they're, hitting some very easy shots. Guild, they're looking like a level above at the moment.
Yeah, most definitely. We can see teams come back into games all the time, though. All Acend are waiting for is that little spark to fan the flame, but it has just been put out again and again. Moving towards this B site, free opener, and the wall that grants them all the control. Choice of where they want to plant the spike, and reinforcements far, far away. Another tough retake for Acend this time. 5 opponents, but 4 of them to fight back. None of them wielding very strong weaponry. Just Jade who has the Vandal, the rest down to some weaknesses. Got the Rolling Thunder though, and this could catch 2. 3, in fact.
They got a lot towards the back of the U-Haul. This could be huge. Jade already is going to manage the entry. Amy alongside her. This retake having some real legs to it. And leaving just Ness alone again. The lineup Larry all the way at the back. Trying to deny them here. And we'll tap onto that defusal. The first will go her way, but anything more is going to be so difficult as the defusal will begin now off the back of it. Finally, she can start spamming, but it's just not doing enough. Eventually, she'll be closed down by mediKa and Acend. They have got...
0 and 7 right now. You hate to highlight those bad performances, but on a map like this, and in the kind of way you're trying to use Chamber for those early duels, Samsi's got to be finding success. Yet even here, we saw that not happen, and they still walk out with the victory.
And we're seeing an attempt to take a little bit of control on that A side of the map. The thing is, Guild have been very, very patient in their manner of clearing. Smoke down, okay, they're going to get stunned up on the way through, but they basically have this ground for free. And that's been a problem, I would say, in a lot of the rounds we've seen, is just being able to get in towards this connector spot. Hated already being sectioned off as they now look to go back towards mediKa. The flash is perfect, but she doesn't actually peek off of it. A little wary about going down and leaving her teammate out to dry. And now, well, her teammates look to flank.
Well, the kills go back and forth, but still to be fought for is this mid position. There's a player coming on the flank. Very long, very late, but Smurfette's down, so no trap to cover it. This could be dangerous. Oh, not able to hold on. I mean, this just opens up so much more room for these players to cover. The likes of behind them. Oh, if they step out, though, this could be dangerous. Okay, now they know at least where she is. Oh, those shots were on. Ness, 30 HP, matching that of aNNja. This could be Amy's game. She's had a fantastic attempt just earlier on, but couldn't convert on it. Using the smoke to fake her way inside of the ult on the right, though. aNNja's waiting. And in the end, Guild will extend their lead. This clutch could have been so valuable for Acend, but instead, they've been left in the dust once more.
And then it's just not enough. They need somebody being able to take a little bit back from their opposition. Otherwise, if that spot is free every single round, well, Guild, as said, their afterplant util is so strong, and they're getting one basically every round.
This trap's obviously going to be heard, but the idea being that if no one's here, they won't hear it. Then you get that free control, TP out. But obviously, you've got the Prowlers coming in. They've confirmed that the player was there. They've destroyed the trap, and now they're making a move for the A side. This is where things can become a little bit difficult, I think, for Acend. They've already conceded the control, but Jade wants to go out and try to hold on to it. The pace of Guild hasn't allowed them to get right in there. They're waiting to ult. They want to go through middle to catch off these art players. And well, that should be the trigger point for it. We're about to see the flood of attackers you would imagine, but Acend, yeah, they almost seem wise to it. They don't start rotating instantly. They're waiting for another reaction to come through. With 40 seconds left, there's only really one chance for Guild to make this work.
Teleport's ready.
This could be Samsi's moment to fight back. Onto the board she goes. An initial kill, trying to at least slow them as they push in towards this site, but it is looking like an afterplant may be coming through once again. The spike, though, however, was dropped. That initial kill putting on the deck. It's an awkward fight. And while Jade has managed to come out with 2, make it a 3rd as well. Finally rising up to the occasion. Roxi left alone and Acend. They get their 2nd onto the board. It's not been
as bait running around the site. clearing the rest of the angle, setting up her team for success. Great stuff from Acend. But that's only a second round. Many more to play for. 3 left in the half.
They found my trap.
Samsi again forced off this early angle. And right into Death's waiting arms. Smurfette again able to punish the chamber on the other side and the A side under a lot of threat. You see, even this pace catching them off guard. They've cut the nade in front of them, slowing themselves down.
Again, it looks like they almost have to set up for a retake. Now they do have themselves at nightfall, so they're going to utilize. Instead, though, Smurfette is just running it all the way in from behind. That hated will catch her. Still being able to hear those steps. Ness, I don't even know how she got that headshot. I'd like to ask her afterwards because that just looked absurd from our angle.
Standing.
And while aNNja puts another in the grave, it's left all onto Hated, the player who got the only kill on this round, and while it will stay that way. Every single round that Acend gets just looks like a blip on the radar as Guild fight back once.
That's repeatable. Imagine no.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, right. Well, yeah,
no.
Never mind.
Oh, yeah, definitely not repeatable. Oh, well, it's really not going great. A lot of pistols in this round still, and roxi the rat, sat towards the spawn, just waiting to try and catch them as they go through, and you know what? She's been exterminated. Even still, though, I don't know how much is going to change in the round. Smurfette is rat number 2, the flash. Well, it's going to work out for her. I think catching her maybe a little bit. Well, she's even going to get her 4th kill. It's been an incredible half for her in general. 9 on the board in the first half.
You want to play? Let's
Definitely
play.
hasn't been pretty. And you can only imagine that over in that Acend camp,
Right there.
morale's got to be pretty low. This...
Right there. Right there.
We don't get to see it too often anymore. I think we've gotten lucky with a lot of teams that pull out those pocket picks that surprise us, that they look incredible on it. But this is the risk. Sometimes when it comes to officials, you'll just see things that you didn't see in the scrims. You'll see teams adapt to you in ways that you're just not ready for. And right now, it seems just off the bat, pacing and some of that late round map control or mid round map control that we're seeing out of Guild is being too tough to deal with. This time, though, Samsi again opening up with a kill. Looking that little bit better. Hated on the flank. This is perfect. The timing. Oh, and she still misses. Oh, no. Samsi's having to dig deep. Put it all on the table here. How has this gone so badly wrong for Acend? A 2 versus 3. The timing, everything. A Cinnamon comes behind.
Oh, it's so unlucky as well.
It's just thrown back in their face.
Divided.
Oh, it's Amy again. She's come close in the majority of clutches she's been in.
Covering it.
aNNja already desperately low on HP. They've fallen back to very passive position. Still likely having stars around the spike to try and drag things back in this cosmic divide. Maybe not helping her out as much as she would have desired. At least giving her that initial space to try and get that bit more aggressive, but she has absolutely no idea where these remaining players are. And the thing is, they could almost just play off of that grav wall, even going to get pinged up by the last second of the haunt, and just having to try and bait it out. Going to be pulled all the way through. aNNja just looking to execute her. 10-2. Guild have been magnificent in this half, and unfortunately for Acend, even when things look like they'd finally go their way, they're
moving onto your home turf. It's incalculable.
Yeah, there is a reason why this Guild squad only ever seems to lose to G2 Gozen. They are a force to be reckoned with, seemingly a caliber above the majority of other competition. And right now they are proving that, hey, maybe we had a slip up yesterday on this map, but it doesn't mean you can try and throw in a little sneaky pocket pick. For Acend, I think this composition looks a lot better, or should look a lot better on the attack. But we may not get to see it if they don't win this pistol.
Yeah, that's it. Barely even get a chance to buy a rifle if this one doesn't go their way. Not fighting for the half just yet, fighting for a chance to play it. And Guild are locking down this A site. 2 players, 3 basically close by, one of them being your aNNja, able to throw over that haunt. Give them sight through the Viper wall, and obviously whatever flashes, smokes. end up coming through. Utility to block. Nothing caught on the haunt, but then as they emerge from the wall, they're all lit up. And what a disgusting little trap they had set. I think even not going fully according to plan on that peek out from Cinnamon, but
gamble stacks and getting themselves in the right position, but they just look so much better individually, and unfortunately Acend looked demoralized.
I'm out if you weren't good. Stop it.
oh, well, this round certainly doesn't look to help. Jade meeting a ton of utility on their way through. The 3 Spectres firing off as well. I mean, that's about as poorly as it could have begun. So much damage done to the rest of the team as they even attempted to assist, not making it past the smoke. And they have stalled out now. Maybe out of ideas, or maybe just clinging to that last one, hoping that Guild are going to overextend, that someone will push for information and give them the opening that they so desperately need right now. And, well, maybe that was it. Cinnamon down. A great shot from Samsi. They still need more heroics, though.
Ness is out of utility, so the delay is not going to be there as much. She still does have a weapon, though. And, well, it seems a little disjointed on the other side. Players running through smoke, the other stuck behind. So desperately low, a bullet from this Sheriff will do the job, and that's before they even look to try and cross past Ness. Looking unstoppable on the site defense, and Guild as a whole looking again like they're on the warpath straight back to that grand final.
It's got to be sky high here, 12-2. Nothing that Acend have done has ever been able to consistently challenge them. Now, on a bonus round, Spectres start by rushing down through long, and they are going to be shut down. Decent start. Acend coming ahead in those duels. I can count on one hand the times that that's happened, and they're determined to set the record straight. Yes! That could be it. That could be the foot on the neck. Acend need to fight back here, and now a great seize. They're all lit up.
Okay.
But luckily, they get out with this one under their belt.
And that's the thing, that wasn't even really played as a bonus for Guild. Champions are champions. They took the best team from Counter-Strike and seemingly made it better along the way. But Guild have slowly been building a super team and adapting those players from basically what was superstar Jets to be able to play multiple different roles. You have to give credit to not only the coaching staff, also the players themselves being able to get to that point. Ness definitely fits the bill as one of those. Managing to retrieve a rifle already in this round. It is an afterplant for Acend, however, so you'd think this round should go their way, but I've learned from many a game changers, you don't count out Ness.
I mean, that clock does seem to be very far gone. We do have a Viper's Pit and still the orb in play.
Toxin screen down.
The wall obviously used up earlier, so not as much vision blocking. Coming into these angles, as long as Acend run the clock.
Player standing.
Play this one at a time to start, and then just flood in on the final. I mean, that's textbook. 12-4.
And then just having great follow-up, which, when things aren't going well, is a lot harder to do. Nice haunt already. I'm going to try and use the Prowler to force him back off the angle, but it's got stuck on a wall, so they're going to have to use a second one. And the Operator hasn't actually shot off a bullet. They're almost trying to bait them back in, but look at the space that's been taken. This wraparound from behind! And even the TP into it, they were so clueless of the space that Jade had taken. He's going to end up with a double. And they are being very careful to make sure they clear out every angle humanly possible.
And this is why I say it can be so important to shut an opponent out. You know, for Acend now, they're not entertaining the thought of winning the map just yet. It's one round at a time. Let's just play the game, have some fun. But they're having some fun. They're starting to feel that rhythm come back, and, well, that's what you want to see. 5 versus 3. Close this round out cleanly, and it looks like they were on the way. Cinnamon with a little bit of a response. A great position from Roxy. Unaccounted for, but not given too much opportunity now with her teammate going down. The 1v2 and the crossfire is perfect. A nice attempt, but in the end, the round will be closed. Acend not going to...
Can basically win them the game.
Well, that ult is
damn.
garnering a ton of information to haunt over, not going all the way, so they got to clear right side still. Prowler does that. And they have got this for free. Really nice approach. I like the speed through on the back of the ult. And with that, they get a post plant versus pistols.
Yeah, for the defense. Again, it's just going to be about trying to make this one a bit more awkward. Ooh, nice shot from Samsi. Course, weaponry. Initiate. Not the greatest crossfire in the world, I'll be brutally honest. And I don't know how Cinnamon's got two from here. I doubt she expects the third, checks the angle, but eventually it starts to go the direction we expected. Amy putting the remainder down. Still, use
Rifles in the hands of Guild.
Gotta go.
Will make a completely different scenario unfold. Now pull back at the stars, they've got a cross. Taking this space again. This has been happening in most of the rounds.
This, I'm out of here. You are divided.
We saw it in the first half as well. A lot of teams like to do it, but not quite this aggressively. Jade's gone all the way in, behind the operator, behind enemy lines, and they're not ready. Jade almost with the triple, leaving aNNja on a sliver of health. And well, that is the success we were looking for. The reason we want to see this player pick up this agent. What a phenomenal start to the round. Acend still didn't manage to get the spike planted, so a challenge still awaits them.
Yeah, but this will start to put doubt in the minds of Guild X.
That's not ready.
You must have to be wary that they haven't already rotated away. That operator peek off the flash, though.
Down, B.
aNNja was always fantastic with this weapon. Hasn't really utilized it as much. Not her role within the team, but always have to be wary of doubting her. The timing as well for Cinnamon's even better.
30 seconds
Amy's lurk is caught. This quickly diminished from such a positive position to now 25 seconds. All three players on the site. A Viper's Pit, and now it's just Samsi left, trying to save her squad from embarrassment on this map. And while even the peek out from ness to close it, it takes again just Guild X being able to steal that round away and the game with it.
This has been tough, Tom.